Well, good morning again. I am truly humbled and honored to stand before you. This is quite an experience. My brothers and sisters out there before me, I have an opportunity to stand here as your general president. I'm a guy from Northeast Philly, grew up in a working class town, in a working class neighborhood. I couldn't be here without my father, 55-year retired member, 30-year officer in Local 19. I have the ability to stand here because of his dedication to his union, dedication to his family, and the services that he's provided. But that's how we all get here. We get here because of the foundation of those that have come before us. Those that have shared their skills, those that have shared their talents, those mentors of ours, whether it was working with the tools or being a representative, being a training coordinator or an educator, because they all share in this union. They all share and gave us the career that we've aspired to. I don't stand here alone. It's because of you and working with you and learning with you and sometimes struggling with you through issues that affect our locals, our councils, our members. That's the strength of this union. That's the strength of who we are. That's the strength of each one of you. Sharing what you know, mentoring those that come after us. It's a guy like Joe Nigro, General President, for his leadership, his dedication to me, to you, to our union, planning and preparing with his own sacrifices for the good of our union, so that we are more diverse, we are stronger and more dynamic. We went to the convention last year. There was a lot of stress. We came out with solidarity, speaking one voice and carrying that momentum. Joe Nigro will be back. He had other things he needed to do this morning. You saw him last night. You will see him tomorrow and throughout the rest of this week. He misses this gathering. He misses you. It's important. Make sure you talk to him. Say hi. Say thank you. Something as simple as that. On behalf of General Secretary Treasurer McLeese, our General Executive Council, I want to welcome you and thank you. More importantly, we need your participation this week. It is vital to your representation, to your responsibilities as leaders, and to advance our union. We will coordinate our efforts this week, coordinate our efforts between the local union, between the reps, between the international, to better represent our members, to better represent our families. We must work together, and we will learn together. We must leverage our new size, and we must leverage our new strengths. We must reach out to our transportation brothers and sisters. As we have, many locals have formulated relationships with our transportation brothers and sisters. They've opened their union offices. They've opened their training centers. They've opened for meetings and space. And that has advanced our movement. Thank you for coordinating that, cooperating with that. And some of you have even gone with their political action and making sure that when they hand that check over to a representative or a governor or a mayor, that they do it together. That they realize that it's not just one check, and it may be two checks, but it comes from the strength of 200,000 members of SMART. Coordinating that opportunity will certainly make a bigger impact on the long-term relationship that we are looking for and holding them accountable for in those events. You know, there are many forces that are working against us, working against organized labor and the labor movement. But together, we will face those challenges. Together with our combined strategies, we will face those strategies. We will coordinate our strategies for better jobs, more jobs, and safer jobs. You know, there's one thing about being a leader. It doesn't come with the title. Leaders need to work at it every day. We need to add value every day. We need to earn it, and we need to work for it. This week, you'll see we're going to be launching new technologies. We're going to launch a multi-purpose app, which will be our information center. We'll be able to scan blue and yellow labels. We're going to be able to see the members' journal in an e-reader if that's the way our members want to read about what's going on in their union. You will see future directories available electronically through our information center, our app. Electronic filings, electronic digital communications, enhancements in our job bank, using social media to connect our members to jobs, to where the jobs are. This week, we're going to continue with General President's vision, General President Nigro's vision, with the town hall meetings. We will do that directly after this, at 1 o'clock, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and we will wrap that up with an open forum for business managers only on Wednesday between 3 and 5. Our theme here is growth. Our theme is seizing every opportunity. Growth is paramount to our union. In February 2014, we had a strategic planning meeting. 68 representatives from the United States and Canada, union reps, international reps, staff, working on where do we need to be in the next 5 years? What does this organization need to do, and how do we look 2 years, 5 years from now? We need to shift our paradigm. We need to move. We cannot accept more of the same. You know, we talk a lot about other people's comfort zones. Well, you know what? I think we're in a comfort zone. We got to get our own self out of our comfort zone. All roads will lead to growth, and you will see that in this coming week. Growth is vital to this union, to your local union, to this international. Growth needs to be on the minds of every breakout session, at every level. We need to take that mindset home with us. We need to make sure that we take these programs and we tweak them and we modify them so that we can use them at home. We can't just leave them here on the table. We can't just leave them here at the breakout session. Every time we go to a trustee meeting, growth is vital to the pension, to the health care, to the training. Doesn't matter if it's local. It doesn't matter if it's the international. Growth is vital in each aspect of what we do. We need to have it on the agenda at every staff meeting. We need to have it on the agenda at every council meeting, at every union meeting. We must we must evaluate ourselves while we're here. We must evaluate our performance. How have we done in the last couple of years? And we must evaluate our union's plan for what it will look like 2 years from now. We need to recognize the opportunities, and we need to create a plan to seize each one of those opportunities. In 2012, Local 104 had a breakout session on campaigns for jobs. And I've heard a lot about that's a big local. And I've heard a lot about they have a lot of resources. And you know what? They do. And they've earned them. But have you and I picked out the pieces of what they've done and implement them in our own way? In many cases, they're mobilizing their membership. There's no cost to that. In many cases, they're holding town meetings with their city council. And you may have 100 constituents sitting in the room on a PLA or on future work opportunities. And as a constituent saying, how is my life affected by the practices in this community? And how does it affect me, and how can I help? We each can do that. We each can pick a piece out of that. And then we take it home. And we have an implementation plan of what we can do and how we can get there. They've reinvigorated our members. They have a grassroots campaign. We talk a lot about grassroots campaigns. They have hundreds and thousands of members. We each can do that. We each can learn, take a piece, and mobilize our membership. That's where our strength is. 200,000. Sheet metal, transportation, members. You know, we have lost a lot of members. We lost a lot of members since 2008. We lost a lot of members even long before that. You know, we all talk about the hills and the valleys, and we lived through the hills and the valleys of the construction industry predominantly. We never seem to get quite back to the top of that hill, do we? Never seem to get quite back to the top. Work is coming back. It's nowhere the way it was 8 years ago. Work is coming back. Have we identified those members that we lost? What are they doing? Do we know what they're doing? We have a lot invested in those careers. And guess what? So do they. They may have served a 4-year or 5-year apprenticeship. They may have taken journey person upgrading classes, a cost to themselves and a cost to our industry. Can we identify them? Now they're using those skills and talents some other place. Can we get them back? Is there a way to get them back? We first have to identify them. Do you think they're working in the trade? I think many of them are. They're out there. If one's working, there may be 3 working at the same company. There may be 5 or 10 working at the same company. Can we use our organizing skills and programs to put an organizing campaign in those locations? Re-strategize the programs that we've done in these types of settings? Yes, we can. Yes, we will. We are going to roll up our sleeves this week, and we are going to work on organizing plans. We're going to work on organizing plans within our core area, because that has changed. That has shifted. That has shifted since 2012, since 2008. It's not the same. We will work on organizing plans for outside our core area. We've been talking about that for a long time. Organizing plans outside our core area. We're going to work on internal organizing. Right to work states. Non-members working next to members on signatory shops. How do we get those numbers up? And how do we sustain those numbers? Because when we go in there, they go up. When we leave, they go down. We will work on those strategies of internal organizing. And how do we maintain those numbers. New opportunities, wherever they may be. We need to capture each one of those jobs, each one of those opportunities. Our industry is developing. Our industry is evolving. It's doing it with or without us. We can be on the menu, and in many places we are on the menu. What's happened with HVAC? What's happened in 5 years? It's dramatically changed. What will it look like 10 years from now? How will it change? Where are our members going to go to work? With the efficiencies in the shop and on the job site and the changes within the HVAC industry, what's going to happen to us? How are we going to look at that? There is a shortfall of workers in many places around this country. We're putting members to work on jobs to fulfill that shortfall. We have an area where we're using our skills and our talents for members that are working in quality assurance and quality control settings because there's a shortfall and we're able to fill that. That's growth. That's growth in an unconventional, non-traditional area. We're going to talk about mega projects and providing the skills that are needed for those mega projects so that when a person arrives on that job, they have those skills, whether it's a welding skill, whether it's a D11 skill, or whether it is putting them on the job drug-free. Drug-free. And when they travel from a local to another local, they need to be drug-free. Those days are long gone. We got to make sure we're identifying the people that have the skill, and we got to be able to put them on the job. You know, our members don't travel as they did. Times have changed. Families' dynamics have changed. Sometimes they need dual income. Many cases they do. So they can't travel because they can go to work, but they need to watch their kids when their spouse goes to work. They need that dual income. As I said, in each meeting, whether it's a trustee or a staff meeting, we need to think about growth. You're going to hear about SASME. You're going to hear about some of the SASME programs of trying to get members from one location to another location for job opportunities and fulfill the sheet metal promise of supporting our craft, of supporting our members, of putting them on those jobs. Making sure that we're using those provisional journey person programs, as you heard in the video earlier, getting them on the job, and then giving them the well-rounded education that's needed. Using those plans, those programs. We can't continue to do the same thing. We can't expect a different result if we keep doing the same thing. This isn't a criticism of how hard people are working, but we need new and innovative approaches at sustaining growth. I've been to a lot of council meetings and a lot of meetings. There's a lot of smart people in this room right now. There's a lot of smart meeting at every one of those councils with an unmatched industry knowledge. But if we don't put it on our agenda, we're going to come and go. Times have changed. We must regain our strengths. In many cases, we have lost representatives of this union because of the dynamics that have happened. We have less representatives in some areas. We are forced to do more with less. That's not acceptable. The risks are too great. The risks are our members and the risk of our families. Their destinies in your hands. Their destiny is in our hands. We asked for these jobs. I asked for this job. You asked for this job. Our members put their trust in us. They put their trust in our abilities. They put their destiny, their jobs, in our hands. We have that responsibility. We have that opportunity to affect their lives. We can't rely on somebody else. I believe this is our moment. I believe this is our time. There's a lot happened in the past. There are a lot of dynamics that have gone on. But we are going to move forward. This is our time. This is your time. With your ideas, with your energy, with your commitment, we will make a difference. We, this union, will make a difference. It starts with hard work. It starts with accountability. Accountability at each level, at every level, starting at my level. I want you to hold me accountable. I told this GEC this week, I want them to hold me accountable. And I have the same expectation for each one of you. Be accountable. It starts with pride. It starts with pride in my own responsibilities, in my own duties. It starts with pride in my membership, your job, and your union. We need to take it back. You have the ability to affect change. You have the ability to affect change for this union and for our members. You will make the moves that will impact this union. Let me say that again. You will make the moves that will impact this union. But we have a great resource. We have an outstanding knowledge base in this room. And when you go home, you have that at your council meeting and your staff meetings and your union meetings. We must maximize our abilities. And we can never forget leadership. We must be leaders. We've asked to be leaders. We are looked upon as leaders, and we need to act like leaders. This is your future. This is your union. Let's get it on. Let's make a difference. And let's leave this conference with a new direction, with a new vision, with a new emotion. Thank you very much.